Every morning, I walked into that office like I owned the place. Shoulders back, head up, strong voice. My boss once told a colleague, Alex is one of the most confident people on this team. And I sat there and smiled. Because nobody, not one person in that room, knew that every single day. I was absolutely terrified. Welcome back to Fluent Speak Lab, where real stories teach you real English. Not the English you memorize, the English you actually live in, at work, under pressure, in the moments that matter most. Every week, one real story, one real lesson, and one step closer to the speaker you want to be. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. Let's keep going. Let me tell you about the performance. Every morning, same routine. Alarm at 6:30. Shower. Coffee. Suit. Then, standing in front of the bathroom mirror for exactly 3 minutes. Not checking my hair. Not fixing my tie. Practicing. Good morning, everyone. Great to be here. That's an excellent point, and I'd add that. I've been looking at the numbers, and here's what I think. 3 minutes of phrases. 3 minutes of voice. 3 minutes of becoming someone who was not afraid. Then I would walk out of my apartment, take the elevator down, step onto the Atlanta street, and become Alex. Confident Alex. Calm Alex. The Alex who always had something to say. My name is Alex. And for almost a year, I was living two completely separate lives. The one everyone at work could see, and the one happening inside my head. I had joined the company 10 months ago. New country, new job, new language, all at the same time. My English was decent, functional, but functional and fluent are very different things. In the beginning, I was quiet in meetings. I listened. I nodded. I sent emails instead of speaking up. Safe choices. But 3 months in, something happened that changed my entire approach. There was a team meeting. 8 people around a table. My manager, David, was presenting quarterly numbers. He asked the room a question, something about client retention. Nobody spoke. Silence. And I don't know what possessed me in that moment. Maybe it was desperation. Maybe it was a flash of something. But I said, clearly, directly, I think the issue is follow-up timing. We're losing clients in the window between first contact and the second touch point. I had no idea if that was right. I had read something similar in an article the night before, and it had stuck in my head. David looked at me. Then he said, that's exactly it. That's the problem we need to solve. The whole table turned toward me. And in that moment, Alex the confident guy was born. Not because I was confident, but because I had accidentally said the right thing at the right moment. And from that point forward, I had a reputation to protect. Every meeting, every conversation, every presentation, I had to be that guy. The problem was, I had absolutely no idea how to actually be that guy. So I did the only thing I could think of. I faked it. Every single day. For 7 months, the performance held. Alex had a system. Before every meeting, he would read everything he could find about the topic. Articles, reports, emails. Not to deeply understand, just to collect phrases. Specific words he could drop into conversation to sound informed. In meetings, he spoke early. Always in the first 5 minutes. Because he had learned something important. If you speak early, people remember you as someone who speaks. If you wait too long, the pressure builds and the words stop coming. When he didn't know something, he never said, I don't know. He said things like, that's worth looking into. Let me come back to you on that. Or, I want to give you an accurate answer, so give me until end of day. Buying time. Always buying time. And it worked. David called him sharp. Colleagues asked his opinion. He got pulled into higher level conversations. But underneath all of it, the fear never left. Every morning, the mirror, the phrases, the performance. Every night, going over what he had said that day, replaying moments, cringing at the words that didn't land right, preparing for the next day. It was exhausting. And then, month 10, the crack appeared. A new project. High stakes. Alex's team had to present a full strategy to the company's regional director. Not David, someone above. David, a woman named Patricia who had a reputation for asking hard questions. Alex prepared for a week. He knew the material. He had his phrases ready. The presentation started well. His part went smoothly. And then Patricia looked directly at him and asked, "Alex, if this strategy fails in the first quarter, what's your contingency?" And Alex, for the first time in 7 months, went completely blank. Not a partial blank. A total blank. His prepared phrases had nothing for this. 3 seconds of silence. Patricia was still looking at him. And Alex felt the performance. The 7 months of carefully constructed confident. Alex, start to crack right down the middle. He had two choices in that moment. Keep faking. Scramble for something, anything, to say. Or do something he had never done in that office. Tell the truth. He took a breath. And he said, "Honestly, Patricia, that's the part I'm least certain about. I have some initial thoughts, but I don't want to give you a half-formed answer. Can I send you a detailed response by tomorrow morning?" Patricia looked at him for a moment. Then she said, "I appreciate that. Yes, send it over." The meeting ended. David caught up with Alex in the hallway afterward. He said, "That was the best answer you've given in months." Alex stared at him. Being honest about what you don't know and offering a real solution, that's what confident actually looks like, David said. Anyone can bluff. Not everyone can do what you just did. Alex walked back to his desk, and for the first time in 10 months, he didn't feel like he was performing. He felt like himself. Here's what Alex learned, and what I want to give you today. Real confidence in English is not about having the perfect word every time. Real confidence is about having the right phrase for every situation, including the difficult ones. There are 5 situations where confidence breaks down, and I'm giving you the exact phrase for each one. Situation 1. When you want to speak up but aren't sure your idea is good enough. Most people stay silent here. Don't say this. "I might be looking at this differently, but what if we..." This might be an obvious point, but I want to make sure it's on the table. "I've been thinking about this and I keep coming back to..." These phrases lower the stakes of your own statement. They invite conversation instead of demanding agreement. And they get you into the room, which is all you need. Situation 2. When you're put on the spot and need time to think. Never go silent. Never say, for 5 seconds straight. Say this. "Great question. Let me think about that for a second. That's something I've been considering. Here's where I am on it." I want to give you a real answer, so bear with me for a moment. These phrases do something powerful. They signal thinking, not panicking. And in any professional setting, thinking before you speak is respected. Situation 3. When you genuinely don't know the answer. This is where most English learners either bluff badly or go completely silent. Alex's approach, and the one that actually works. "I don't have enough information to give you a confident answer right now, but I'll find out and get back to you by..." That's outside my area, but the right person to ask would be, "I'm not certain, and I'd rather tell you that than guess wrong." Honesty plus a next step. Every time. Situation 4. When you disagree with someone more senior than you. "I want to make sure I understand your thinking, because my read on it is slightly different. I respect that perspective. Can I share a concern I have about the timeline? I might be wrong here, but the data I'm looking at suggests..." You're not challenging them. You're adding. That distinction matters enormously in English-speaking work culture. Situation 5. When you want to close a conversation with authority. So the way I see it, here's what we should do next. To summarize where we landed, I'll take this forward from here. I'll send an update by Friday. Ending strong. Owning the next step. This is what leadership sounds like in English. Now, here's the most important thing Alex learned. He thought confidence was a feeling you had to have before you could speak. But that's backwards. Confidence is a feeling that comes after you speak. After you survive the hard moment. After you say the honest thing. After you stay in the conversation when every part of you wants to leave. You don't wait to feel confident and then speak. You speak, and confidence follows. Alex still does his morning mirror routine, but it's different now. He doesn't practice phrases anymore. He just looks at himself and says, "You know enough. Say what you think. Be honest when you don't." 3 sentences. And then he walks out the door, not performing, just Alex. And it turns out, the real Alex was more than enough all along. Alex spent 10 months performing confidence before he discovered something. That changed everything, real. Confidence isn't about having all the answers. It's about being honest when you don't, staying in the conversation when it's hard, and trusting that your real voice is enough. Your challenge this week: in one conversation, say what you actually think. Not the safe answer, not the rehearsed answer, the real one. Use one phrase from today to get you started. If this story hits something real for you, share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe to Fluent Speak Lab, because next week another story is waiting. Stop performing. Start speaking. I'll see you in the next one.